Why are we trying to force people, and why are so many people entertaining the denial of reality itself?
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to extremism in this country, I mean, the issue very much so is on the right.
A lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude. I don't know you. I never met you.
A while back, you might remember that I was predicting that Bill Maher was on his story arc to becoming a Republican. So the left is not at all happy about this, and one of Bill's guests let him know about it that night, and Bill's response was just perfect.
Counterpoint?
Yeah.
You know, Bill, I think you're right in saying that people have made too much of this, okay? It's not the Alta Summit. You're not Churchill. Kid Rock is not Stalin. Trump sure shit isn't FDR, okay? So, yes, I believe too much has been made about this, but I think you've fallen into the trap. I think that I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle. And what people are worried about is not your motivation. We believe you. We love you, Bill. Everybody loves Bill, right? So I'm not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? And if we can say that you went there in good faith, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't there in good faith. I mean, you sold him on the Iran deal and he took it in. I mean, give me a break, okay? So the idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude. I don't know you. I never met you.
A human. I'm just saying that this comes from a place of love.
Not everybody has to like it.
I'm retarded?
Yeah, the left does not like talking. They especially don't like when their political opponents are freely talking without being censored by them, because they think their ideas and their way of doing things are the only way by virtue of them being the ones wanting to do it.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
All right, now we have to deal with this CNN goon, Donnie O'Sullivan, who you might remember back when he was claiming America was not a republic.
But some Republicans and pro-Trump media are pushing the idea that America is not a democracy.
The United States of America is not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic.
The United States of America is not a democracy. You don't want to be in a democracy.
We are not a democracy. We are a republic.
Is America a democracy?
America is a democracy. It was founded as a democracy.
Excuse me. What? Now he's back to rewrite some more American history, claiming that left-wing extremism does not exist.
I always get to hang out with some of the nicest people, as you know, Jess.
He's an asshole too, sir.
You also were met with some people who consider themselves fans of Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess what we're looking at here is obviously, you know, when it comes to extremism in this country, I mean, the issue very much so is on the right.
No, wait.
On the far right, from Charlottesville to January 6th. There isn't exactly an equivalent on the left in this moment. And
Stop. You lying motherfucker, stop.
As you can see there, as part of our doc, we actually were outside the DC jail on inauguration night when, of course, Trump began pardoning a lot of people who took part in the January 6th riot, and people began to be released. But we did go also spend some time with people who are fans of Luigi Mangione, the, of course, alleged murderer of Brian Thompson, the healthcare CEO. And from speaking to them, you know, we put to them that are they also cheering on violence? So you'll be able to tune in on Sunday night to see what they said to that.
How about no?
Isn't it interesting that all the examples of right-wing extremism that he pulls up are all old, and he has sudden amnesia when it comes to left-wing extremist events? Things like left-wing BLM rallies where they are calling for violence against cops that ends with violence against cops. Or how about gigantic left-wing mob beatings of Trump supporters in San Jose? Or literal years worth of left-wing riots that ended up at CNN headquarters at one point. Oh, but of course all of that left-wing violence was being cheered on and given cover by the likes of CNN. And of course, more recently, we've had left-wing assassination attempts on SCOTUS judges, and 2 attempts on Donald Trump that ended with him being shot in the face and one of his supporters murdered. Not to mention the ongoing left-wing attacks against Tesla dealerships, cars, and their owners.
And that's different?
Very.
Completely.
Oh, but the professional Donnie Sullivan doesn't remember any of that. All right, now moving on to the last video, which which I said on X, perfectly demonstrates something I've said a long time about so-called trans people and how governments around the world are using them.
They make a mockery of being trans.
Yeah.
And when you put your hand up as a 6'4" biological man and say, I am now competing against women in a swimming pool, no trans person who doesn't want that attention is doing anything other than saying, this is making my life hell. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, you're absolutely right in that the so-called activists are harming the group that they're claiming to advocate for, as well as harming 51% of the whole human population. Because let's be real, all of this stuff, all the negative downstream impacts are on girls and women. They are not on boys and men at all. I'd say this whole thing is incredibly misogynistic, and I don't like to throw that word around too much. To take the conversation up a level as well, I have a question, and the whole thing is, why are we trying to force people, and why are so many people entertaining the denial of reality itself?
Yeah.
Women's rights are incredibly important. Fairness in sports is important. Safety and security and privacy, all of these things are very important. The fundamental problem at the root of this is everyone dancing around pretending that a man can truly be a woman and a woman can truly be a man. This is not me being transphobic or hateful or being a bigot, anything like that. It's simply that reality exists. Biology is real.
And is that reality a legal one? Because in this country it is.
Reality,
it is a legal reality, Zuby, that you can change your gender.
You cannot change your biological sex. It's physically impossible.
I'm saying to you,
it is impossible
it's a legal reality
it is
that you can.
Can you change your biological sex?
We can talk about biology, and we can talk about the legality of it.
We're talking about biology, though. This thing is about sport. This is about males and females.
Well, the problem when we talk about biology is, and neither of us are scientists, but
you don't need to be a scientist to know male and women.
You and I both know that it's a lot more complicated than that.
What's the complication?
It's not as simple as, for me, it's very simple. And for you, it may be very simple. But I think we're indulging an ignorance by not suggesting that there is more to it than that.
Can you become male?
I don't want to be a male.
But can you become male? Is there anything that could be done that could turn you into a male in the way that I'm male and Piers is male? Is that possible?
See, now, do you see how you've qualified your question? So you first asked me, can I become a male? And I would suggest probably yes, in terms of medically. But then you said, like you and Piers, and that's where we start to get complicated.
Paula, I hoped we would have taken you a little further down your journey. I fear when you say you think you can become male, you can't, because male is a sex.
I can have gender recognition, can't I? I can legally become a male.
We've got to leave it there, but you can't actually become a biological male. And nor can I, you'll be relieved to hear, become a biological female.
Yeah. Exactly. It is a complete denial of objective biological science and reality that all of us are supposed to just get on board with. And that's where I see the problem. Like I said on X, I think this is being used as a sort of tool by all of our governments in the West. And they're doing it because once people go along with it and they are willing to join in what is a complete delusion, whatever the government says at that point, or whatever the authority, as those people see it, says, they're going to go along with it. And right here you see the perfect example of it. No, this woman cannot become a man. She knows that, but she keeps saying legally, medically, I can take drugs. No, you cannot. And legally, what does that mean? So that means now the government now dictates what reality is. But then, of course, she's forced to emotionally manipulate the audience by saying that if you don't go along with this delusion, then these people will hurt themselves. That's emotional abuse. Everybody who's not crazy knows that men should not be in women's sports. These people are obviously much bigger, they have an obvious advantage, and they are ruining opportunities for girls. They should either play with their own actual biological sex, or yes, there should be a separate league for trans. But unfortunately, I doubt that you could get enough people for it because it's such a small percentage of the population. Which is, again, completely insane that we're all being asked to do so much for a small percentage of people, which tells me that there are ulterior motives. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so make sure to keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.